Hello, everybody. Spider here, the Fight Card Podcast, coming to you once again from San Antonio, Texas. Being joined by professional fighter Andy Nguyen. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I want to thank you, first of all, for jumping on this and giving me a few minutes of your time.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
no, thank you. By all means, I was going to ask. You leaked the news for BKFC a little too early. This was yesterday. Now, is this due to you being anxious or just ready to get in there?
No, they said Tuesday, but they tagged me on Instagram. So then I saw it. So I just, reposted it and they like edit my eyes and stuff. And I was like, I don't know why they did that because I thought the regular picture looked fine. Like whatever. So I posted the real picture. Um, but since they announced it first, I guess it was okay. They said they were going to announce it Tuesday. They're pretty strict about this, all these announcements. Like I had to sign all these contracts and stuff.
No, I can imagine. I mean, there's a lot of there's going to be well, there is a lot of hype for you to jump in there. I mean, earlier I mentioned you as a professional fighter only because you have competed in kickboxing and mixed martial arts and even bare knuckle MMA. You know, is your plan to basically cover all angles, or is this just are you just going by a whim?
Yeah. My last fight in Canada, people were calling me a legend. It was so weird because I don't feel like I'm a legend. I'm standing next to like Chris Cyborg and Sarah Kaufman, and they're legends to me. And they're like, no, you're up there with them, and I was just like, that's so freaking weird. So yeah, my husband's like, you shouldn't do bare knuckle boxing. That's where fighters die. And then I was like, shit. When I go in the ring, that's when I feel alive. So yeah. Yeah, covering all sports and everything, they offered me a really good deal, non-exclusive because I'm signed with Paul FC, the last fight that I just fought on. So, not like I have commitment problems or anything, but I like that I have been signed with two promotions that I'm having fun with.
No, definitely, and that's one of the things I've interviewed you before on my blog, and one of the things that I had asked was if you're enjoying this because you're traveling, you're getting to punch people while you're there, and getting paid. So I mean, obviously, you're having fun with this.
Yeah, I'm having fun with this. I
Now,
wish I was still in my prime, when I was like King of the Cage champion and like, cutting weight to like 105, and I just can't cut weight to 105 anymore. But bare knuckle is actually opening a 115 division, so that's when they just they offered me a really good deal and I couldn't say no to it. So yeah, here I am.
no, you see, and I was just about to ask you what weight class, so it is going to be at 115.
Yeah, it's just 115, not 125. I walk around 125, 128.
That just makes sense, right? Just to drop a few pounds. Now,
Yeah.
have they named or mentioned any names for you as far as opponents?
Yes, I do have an opponent. I do have the date. I do have the location. I just can't announce it.
Okay. I won't tell nobody. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
told them. I was like, listen, my sponsors know. That's why I only have like two more spots. I was like, my sponsors know. So that's it.
no. Yeah, you see, and that's one of the things about you because your sense of humor. I mean, you have one. You make everything fun. I mean, we've seen your videos. We've seen your antics on social media. I mean, obviously, I mean, does this basically mirror your life? I mean, is this what it's about? You're having fun, being out there, just being yourself.
I do. I do enjoy it. It's an entertainment. It's a sport also, but it's an entertainment world.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely. And I was going to backtrack a little bit. Before you made your amateur debut in MMA, of course, you've posted as far as being a ring girl back in the day. Now, were you already training in combat sports when you did that?
Yes. So what happened was I moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina after I sold my nail shop. I'm Vietnamese, so I used to own a nail shop. So I moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so my son could get closer to his father. And I sold my nail shop, but I was still working part time. And my my son's father and his fiance had bought me a ticket to the sold out event. It was just legalized. Mixed martial arts was just legalized in the Carolinas, and it was a sold out event. So I didn't have any friends, so I went, and I did not want to see two half naked guys in the cage. It's barbaric. It's tacky. I did not want to be there, but I just wanted to mingle and have a beer or whatever. So I'm having a beer, and I didn't pay attention to any of the guy fights, but these two girls called out, and I was like, oh my gosh, girls could do this at 115 pounds. And then I just ran over to the cage and I was just like, like it was just like I want to do this. So I came up to my ex. I was like, I want to do this, and he was like, you know what, you would be good at this. And his fiance was like, oh my god, don't encourage her. She's too pretty. And then he's like, you don't know her like I do. I don't know what that meant. It's not like, well, we did, get in a couple fist fights before because, I dated him when I was 18 and he was 19. So, whatever. At this time, I'm 27 and he's 28. And then he hooked me up with the gym. And then 3 months later, I had my first amateur fight. But before that, they matched me with somebody, and then the girl pulled out. And back then, there wasn't a lot of girls at 115 pounds and around the Carolinas either. The only area that was popular was California. And so I didn't want to pay for a ticket because those tickets are like $45. So there was a ring girl competition, and I was like, forget it. I'm gonna try to do this. So I won. So I just happened to be a ring girl before I started fighting because I didn't want to buy a ticket. And, I mean, I got the best seats too, and I got to watch my teammates fight. So it was like I was studying and having fun, and I was already cutting weight for the fight, so I was kind of slim. So I was like, why not try it? And I won the ring girl competition. That's how it all started. It's not like I started off as a ring girl, but that was the first thing I did.
Right. Only because of course they couldn't find you an opponent.
Yes.
Now let me ask you, and one of the things you just mentioned as far as paying, because I work media, so normally I get a media pass, and it's the best seat in the house because I'm cage side also, so no complaints, But when it comes to the fight itself, are you a fan of the sport right now? I mean, do you actually watch other fighters and think like, man, you know what? You enjoy following their career?
I do. Certain people, if I've trained with them, there's just too many fights. There's fights every other day, every weekend. I can't keep up all of them. But if I've trained with you or worked with you, then I'm like really eager to watch. And like I'm older, so I love to sleep. I'm in bed by 8:30 to wind down. I'll be asleep by 10:30. But for like bare knuckle, I wouldn't even watch it, bare knuckle boxing, because it was just too bloody. I was like, oh, that's just too gruesome. But Taylor Starling was debuting, and I was like, man, I got to see this. She's a really pretty girl, very marketable. I was King of the Cage matchmaker, and I matched her, so I met her, and I was like, wow, this girl is like really, really marketable. She was really pretty, and she just needed a little bit more experience, and she just, and she did well. She won her MMA fight when I matched it, and then she ventured off to do something else, which is bare knuckle boxing. So she actually made me want to watch bare knuckle, and then I was like, man, I would love to do it. They do bare knuckle MMA, and then like boom, they had that, and I jumped on that, and that was so fun. I think I had too much fun for that one.
No, I mean, of course, there was a little backstory behind that match, and you were able to kind of close the deal and shut that out. But when you went to Gamebred, I mean, you actually you become a fan because I mean, I've seen you take photos with a lot of the fighters. I mean, I know Masvidal was on there, so you're able to hang out and take pictures with these guys. Is that something you always do when you go out there for fights?
Yeah, I know. Like, and sometimes they don't want to come up to me, so then I break the ice. I'm like, can I have your autograph? And like Frank Mir was interviewing me for like their commentating notes and stuff, and I was like, okay, but like after we leave, can I get a picture with you? Like, and it makes them feel good,
Yeah.
especially if I put something about him. I was like, when's your daughter's fighting next? Because he has a daughter that actually fights, and I don't think a lot of people know. And he said he couldn't announce it and stuff like that. And it's just nice to get to meet these people that you look up to. That's
No,
all.
no,
It's kind of cool.
and that's one of the things like with myself because I go out there and it seems like I meet commentators like for Pride, back in the day, and I see them now, and I feel like I know them because I've seen them so many years that it's kind of comfortable, and they're kind of like awkward because they don't know who the heck I am, right? But but on that note, let me ask you: when you go out there, do you make time for the fans? I mean, do you take pictures? Do you do autographs as well?
I do, because these moments won't last forever. So I remember like especially Japan and Ryzen, they will line up and they're so sweet, but it's so long. And I remember I was getting frustrated because I was cutting weight, and my coach, one of my best friends, he was like, Andy, this won't last forever, so just cherish it. And he's totally right. They're sitting out there in line, want to take a picture with you. So all you gotta do is just take a picture and pose.
And one of the things I was going to bring up also was the fact that you do those antics. You've done the videos, like I said, on social media, but you also give back a lot to your sponsors, and that's a big one for me because I am a sponsor myself when it comes to athletes. And I appreciate a little thing, a little post, a photo, but you go all out. You do video, you do everything. So I gotta thank you on that. But to the fighters out there watching, I mean, what do you say to them about as far as sponsors, like how to go about doing it?
You need sponsors, like I can't do this full time without you guys. There's no way. This is my full time job. I wake up in the morning and I am at a gym doing cardio weights, and then I move over to the combat sports gym. So I go to two gyms before lunchtime, and then after lunch, I take a nap, and then it's a real job, and you need that. When I was an amateur, when you first start off, nobody knows you, so I was working part time, and it was hard to work and juggle with training hours, and it's just tough. You have to give up one or the other. So
No, no,
yeah,
yeah.
guys, yeah, it means a lot to me when you guys are willing to give me compensation to wear your logo. So I have to give back. It takes a lot to make $1 nowadays.
Oh
Hell,
yeah.
have you seen the gas prices? So yeah,
Exactly.
I really appreciate
You see, and that's actually a good thing now because you can actually run now. You don't have to drive your car so damn expensive.
it.
Cardio. But
Yeah.
let me ask, as far as your training for bare knuckle, I mean, you did bare knuckle MMA with Game Brand FC, and did you condition your fist by any way as far as like to get ready for that fight?
I did a little bit. I did some research and stuff. Some people like was punching trees and walls, newspaper against the wall. I thought that one was pretty cool. I did rice. I did a bucket of rice. So it
Okay.
looks good too because it kind of feels like you're massaging it, and I think it dries out your knuckles a little bit. Maybe easier to cut the skin. I don't know, but that's what I do, and we have a lot of rice.
And I was gonna say, are you gonna do that also for this fight? Have you been doing it?
Yes, I've been doing that, and I've been more trying not to kick because I'm a kicker. I did Muay Thai for 2 years, and I like to kick, and I like to ground and pound an elbow. So I've been strictly boxing, and wearing the boxing shoes really help for not kicking either. So I've been more focusing not to kick. I don't want to get like a point taken off just because I accidentally kicked her. I don't want to do that. So
No, no. And let me ask you, and that was another question. Now, when it comes to for you to change like from going from kickboxing to MMA, does it take you like a few weeks for you to mentally get programmed to be able to get ready for a fight like that?
when I switched from MMA to Muay Thai was when I was signed with Line Fights. The pummeling and fishing for underhooks, you don't do that. You go for overhooks more with the clinch in Muay Thai. It benefits more with the elbows. And I always was fishing for underhooks. And when you fish for underhook, you could get elbowed over because you're under the hook, and then she elbows. So that was hard to do. That took a lot of training. We would just do clinch work, pummeling, clinch work. And then when I finished my contract with Lion Fights, and then I think the next one was Game Bred, went back to MMA. And I did miss MMA when I was doing Muay Thai. I appreciate all of the martial arts, any kind. Um, so I like obviously I don't mind just trying to show my hands this time and show my footwork. I really want to display it. I want to impress people. I want people to think like, dang, she could really, do it all.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, you pretty much are. I mean, with this next bout, you're gonna cover pretty much all angles as far as what's out there right now. Now, let me ask you. I mean, of course, you said it's not exclusive, so of course you're gonna have other options for the rest of the year. Is there something else that you're looking to get into as far as maybe professional boxing or other?
No, no, no. I'm not interested to professional boxing. I think bare knuckle boxing and Paw FC will keep me busy. And then once I start retire or something, I don't know. I might do fight to win jujitsu like shows or something. I don't know. I gotta hit up Seth Daniels. But I was like, gosh, it's ticking, man. And I don't want to like retire. It's gonna be a sad day for me.
No, no. And I was gonna say, if you retire, you're not going back to that nail shop, right?
Dang it, man. I don't know. It's good cash. I don't know, like I still want to be involved. I did enjoy matchmaking. I do like commentating. Man, it's gonna be hard to pull me away from retirement. It's gonna really, really be hard. I have to get really injured or something. I've broken an arm on a Muay Thai fight and then fought like 10 weeks later. So I'm ballsy. which is scary.
No. I mean, but obviously, I mean, you have your husband, you have your coaches. I mean, people are going to be when that time does come. Years later. Everybody's going to
Yeah.
get together and go over what's next.
Yeah, when we like watch like BJ Penn, I'm like, dude, if I get that way, please don't let me fight. Like, don't let me get fight. Like that was hard to watch. A couple like BJ Penn's last couple fights when he just looked like a zombie, and I was just like so brokenhearted. It was just hard to watch.
Oh yeah, you see, and that's one of the things with the sport, like yourself. I mean, you're so in love with it that it's hard to kind of step away. A lot of them do turn to commentary. They turn to podcasting. I mean, they pretty much reach out all different angles when it comes to media. But I mean, it's definitely something you'd be willing to do, right? I mean, when the time comes, actually, maybe even start your own podcast.
But yeah, I would totally do it. I would totally do it. I still have my no license. That'd be stupid if I just let it go. Yeah, so I always have a backup plan.
No, by all means. Now, as far as this fight coming up, I mean, of course, there's no date, right?
Yeah, I can't tell you the date.
I was gonna say, but I mean, when that date is announced, like what is your preparation? I mean, of course, mentally, are you kind of like, okay, let me focus, get that tunnel vision?
I do tell you this. The only reason why I said yes to this was because she has MMA experience also. So like I'm not going in there with a professional like pro boxer only. I would probably decline, just because I need more training just strictly boxing. I could do things that would make her think that, it's still like MMA and go with that. So that's the beauty of bare knuckle boxing is there's a lot of people from MMA and different other sports coming over. So that's why I said yes to this. And it would just be easier to focus on that and not a kick. I'm just trying not to kick.
No, for sure. Well, Andy, I do thank you for coming on this. I'm gonna be watching you, of course, as many others. They did announce they are partnering with the Thriller, so I'm kind of curious how that's gonna take into play. But I'm excited about that myself.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that big signing that they did. They were like, "Is Andy the big signing?" I'm like, "No, it's Triller."
Close enough, right? Close enough. But,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
Yeah. Thank you for having me on here, man. I hope you guys enjoy the show.
No, by all means. Good luck, and we'll see you. We'll see you. I'll be case side, hopefully watching, but if not, we'll see you then.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.